Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we are playing 22. Now, if you haven't put it together, I won't necessarily fault you. I can't imagine that, the regular viewers of this channel are the target audience here. But if you haven't put it together, we've got a pop singer with blonde hair, electric blue eyes, per the descriptions, and the word 22 plastered all over this thumbnail. So that's kind of what this puzzle is all about. It is about the song 22 from Taylor Swift. And I needed to sort of do a little bit of research about who I'm meant to be drawing today. And, you're going to have to forgive me for thinking I'm not necessarily that familiar with her music. But it turns out that it's not just because I was making the assumption it's relatively young female listeners are the target audience. But I was kind of stunned to see that, so 45% of her fans are millennials. So that's between the ages of 27 and 42. There are 23% that are baby boomers. And that statistic sort of took me by a huge surprise. So clearly there are a lot of people that actually really appreciate her music. So if that's the first time you're viewing this channel, welcome. Now let's take a look at the actual puzzle. What do we have in store for today? So we've got 22 by LMDemasi. Now I'm going to assume that stands for Logic Master Demasi, kind of in reference to Logic Master Deutsche. But we've got the following set of rules. We have the obvious one, normal Sudoku rules applies. So that means place the digits 1 to 9 in every row, column, and every 3 by 3 box as outlined by these dark gray lines. So each of the digits 1 to 9 and obviously no repeats. Renban lines, so digits along the pink lines must be non-repeating and consecutive but in any order. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 5-digit Renban lines here. And essentially what you need to have is digits need to be consecutive on it. So if I put the digit 1 in here, then the rest of these digits have to be 2, 3, 4, 5 in any order. So 2, 3, 5, 4, that all works just fine as long as they're consecutive on aggregate, there are no repeats, and they are in any order. What I couldn't do, for example, is skip a digit such as this 3 and decide this is a 6. That breaks the Renban line because now we have non-consecutive digits on this line. And clearly what I couldn't do, and I probably will do this in here, I couldn't repeat the digits as such. Right, what else do we have? We've got German whispers. So adjacent digits along the green line must have a difference of at least 5. Now, regular viewers of the channel, you're very familiar with this. So if I, for example, put a 4 in here on this line, this would have to be 5 or more away, which is a 9. 5 or more away from a 9 would be 4 or less. We've already placed a 4, so this could be 1, 2, or 3. And you end up with this pattern of oscillating between low digits, 1, 2, 3, 4, high digits, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then back again, low, high, low, high. Notice in my examples, I've never included a 5. If you ever think about it for a moment, you're going to struggle to put 2 digits in here that are 5 or more away. I think I skipped over the kind of obvious rule in here, where I'm going to say LMDemasi kind of left it out. We haven't talked about the killer cages, which is the homage to the entire puzzle. You can see the German whisper line with Taylor Swift, presumably with this. You can see the digits 22, not just in Renban lines, but in all of these cages. So let's talk about the killer cages, and I'll make sure that the description down below has the amended rule set so you can refer to them in the future. So 22, what that means is they all happen to be 3-cell cages outlined by these dashed lines. And you can see that these 3 cells that are selected by these dashed lines have to sum up to 22. So, for example, I could put, 7, 8, that's 15, I'll repeat the 7. Let's try that again. 6, 7, and a 9. That would be a totally valid fill for this cage because that's 13 plus 9, 22. Right, last rule we have is fortress rules apply. So digits in the gray cells, says cells, but there's only one that I can see, must be less than all the digits in orthogonally adjacent white cells. So this cell here, and orthogonally adjacent means connected horizontally or vertically, not diagonally. All of these cells have to be larger than whatever is contained in this cell. And you can almost see that with the sort of greater than arrow or less than arrow, that depending on how you read it, in this particular cell. So if you're a Taylor Swift fan, or really, if you're just a Sudoku fan, link will be in the description down below for you to play along as usual. And with that said, I'm going to restart the clock and see how I get on. So I'm probably thinking of starting with the killer cages. And the reason for that is that I actually kind of struggled to come up with an example to fill it. So let's think about digits that can't be in the killer cages for a second. So I'm going to say I can't put a 1 in the 22 cage, because that would leave me with a total of 22 in 2 cells. And I don't know about you, but I can't think of 2 unique digits that will get me to 21. 2, same challenge, leaves me a residue of 20. 3, same challenge, leaves me a 19 requirement. And 4, same challenge, kind of. I'm going to really assume here that killer cage rules apply exactly, because one thing that I could do is 2 9s with a 4, and you can already see that that is throwing up an error on me, the fact that we're repeating the digits here. So I'm going to assume, although not explicitly stated by LMDemasi, that they have to be unique digits, even if they can potentially be the same digit per Sudoku rule sets. So that means 1, 2, 3, and 4 are always outside of these cages. And if you look around the puzzle, this is actually more helpful than you might expect, because box 2, there are only 4 cells not in 22 cages. Box 9, there are only 4 cells not in 22 cages. Box 7, there are only 4 cells not in 22 cages. And all of these blue cells, and I deliberately chose the color blue because we'll come back to that later in German whispers, are from the digits 1, 2, 3, or 4. Except for this digit, which has to be less than that one. So that's not a 4, and therefore this is not a 1. Right, where do we go from here? So you can see that when I was thinking about the cages, it is shockingly restricted. So in one cage, I have to put a 5. And once I put a 5, I have a remainder of 17, which can only be done with 8 and 9. In the other cage, I would have 6 and 7. That's the only remaining digits that I have left, at least in this box. And they add up to 13, requiring me once again to have a 9 to get to 22. So I'm kind of thinking, are these cages purely about 5, 8, 9s and 6, 7, 9s? And at least for the cages where they are in the same box, such as these, I think the answer is definitively yes. I'm not so sure about this one. Is there any way I can do this without a 9? Yeah, because 6, 7, 8 is 21, so you have to have a 9. Once you have a 9, you need to add up to 13, and there's only 2 ways left of doing that, because 9, 4 is not available, 6, 7 is available, and 5, 8 is available. So they are all cages that are, 6, 7, 9, and 5, 8, 9. I may actually have to pause for a moment. It's sort of that time of the day when I walk the dogs, but essentially what I'm tempted to do is to say we have purple and orange cages. That's orange, that's purple, and that's orange. I'm not sure what this is. How did I sort of color it? So I just picked one at random that's purple, one at random that's orange. 3 cells are looking at this. We know that it's not going to have something in common with the purple cell. Therefore, it's got to be orange. The fact that we have orange in here, that means that's purple. 3 cells looking at here, that's got to be orange. 3 cells looking in here, that's got to be purple. Purple in this box means that this is orange. And I don't know what this is. Now, the other thing that I'm thinking here is all the digits, because there is a 9 that's common between all the boxes, I can't put 2 9s in the same box. And as soon as one of those cages escapes the box, that's got to be the 9. So I think all of these have to be 9, and we have our first digit in just under 5 minutes. And please, apologies, I'm going to pause here. I'm going to be right back. All right, please excuse the interruption. Although for you, this was probably only like a handful of seconds. So let me just reorient myself. Where was I going? So I was thinking 22 cages are 6, 7, 9, or 5, 8, 9. I colored them. The 9s are in common. And then the question is, how can I figure out which color is which? What I can do, and I did mention this before on the German whispers lines, is that I use the color blue for low digits very deliberately, because usually the way that German whispers work, as I explained previously, is there are high digits, low digits oscillating. We know we have a high digit here, that's low. These two would be high, this one would be low. And I tend to use the colors, red for high, as in thermometer hot, and blue for cold, or low digits. So what I'm thinking next is, can I maybe use some of these colors a little bit to try and figure out, probably if I actually do, almost out of colors at this point though. Let me have a think if I can actually figure out what this is. Actually, I'm going to just do some easier things first and see if I can think about it. So this blue cell sees 3 reds. And as a result, this is the best case, a 7, 8, 9, making this a 2. And if any one of these is a 6, clearly not this one, because that would struggle, this would have to be a 1. I keep thinking the Renban lines has got to be the next way through. I'm just not sure about it. Nines maybe? So we know that there is a 9 in here. There's a 9 in there. There's a 9 in here. There's a 9, obviously, in every 22 cage, 9, 9, 9. Just Sudoku, eliminating these 2 cells. There is a 9 in there, and actually, here is an interesting question. Could this be a 9? So I think the answer to that question is no, but let me just walk through it. And why am I thinking no? And here's a 9 here, just the last sort of set. Why am I thinking no? If this is a 9, then I need 5 consecutive cells on here. And then I'll fail in that attempt because this cell is from 5, 6, 7, or 8. If this was 5, 8, 9, for example, I could do 8 in here, 7, 6, whoops, I can't do the 5s. And the same is true if this was 6 and 7, then I have 6 or 7, I can have an 8 in here, but the second 6 or 7 is in there. So I think a long way of saying this has to be the 9. That's the 9. Come on, Sleuth. It's not. I really want to be able to actually figure out what these boxes are. And let's think about what we have in box 5. That's maybe the most promising one. So we've got 3 yellow digits, maybe low or high, and the opposite, 3 green digits, maybe yellow or sort of high or low. What that means is that I've got a high digit, a low digit, and a 5 left in these 3, one of each. If I think about the digits 4, 6, and I'm particularly picking up on 4, 6 for one reason only, is that they are extremely difficult to place on German whispers. For example, you can see the 9 is up here. Where would I place the 4? Is almost the question I want to ask. Can't place it in here because that would require a 9 next to it. So it's not on this green cell. It's not on this green cell that sees 2 yellow cells. It's not on this green cell because it sees 2 yellow cells. It's not on yellow, not on yellow, not on yellow, sees 2 greens. So 4 is definitely not in there. It's in here, that's not a 4. Same question for the 6 now. Could I place the 6 in here? Or is this a 4, 5, 6? Could it be 4, 5, 6? I guess that could be, that's not the 4, we know that. Let's finish this thought. 6, I could do 6, 1. I couldn't do 6 anywhere else. So it's either 6 and 1 or 6 as in 4, 5, 6. And I need more information to figure out which is wrong and why. If this is 4, 5, 6, that would be 6, that would be 7, that would be 9, this would be 5. Hang on, this can't be 5, 8. I said there's a 5 in here, Sleuth, and therefore all the purples are 6, 7s. We actually know the order this time. 6, 7, and 9, 6, 7. I can actually place this 9. Yep, that's a 9. 9. That's not a 9. Neither of these are. That's a 6, 7 pair. These are now all 5, 8s. And look at that. 6 has to be on here. That's 6. That's 1. And that actually forces greens to be high, yellows to be low. That tells me where the 9 is in here. That's not a 9. That's the 9. And then I'm left with, it's 4, 5, or 8. Yeah, it's 4, 5, 8. It's not 6, 7. This is the 7 because I've already pencil marked it in here. This is 4, 5, 8. That's not a 4. That's a 5, 8. That's orange as well, although I'm about to get rid of the colors because I think they have basically completed their duties. So no need for oranges, no need for purples. We can continue to do a bit of coloring of highs and lows, I think. I may still need that because I still need to think about, how many digits I'm placing, such as in column 4, that's 1 low digit. There's a 4 in here, that's the second low digit. That's the third and fourth. I've got 4 now in here. That means this is a 5, 8 because it's the remaining digit in here. I can't have any more lows. This is 1, 2, or 3 because I've already got a 4 in one of these. Therefore, there's a 4 in here, no 4 there. I need another low digit and another low digit in here, and I'll think about that momentarily. May as well do it now. 6, 7, 6, 7, 7. That's the 7. Therefore, that's the low digit. 1, 2, 3, 4 low digits. That's got to be the 5, 8. That's the only sort of unknown digit in here, and that's a low digit. Right, we are flying now. Famous last words, but we're flying. 7 can only be next to a 2. These are not 2s. This is another 1, 3, 4. 9 could be next to anything except it's not a 4. That's a 3. Can only be an 8. 3 can only be next to 8 and 9s. We've already got the 9 in here. That's the 8. That's 5. That's 8. Does it bounce back anywhere? Doesn't seem to. That's not 8 either. We know something about this. This is 2 or 4. This is not a 3 anymore. Right. I'm pretty sure that's not an 8. Because I've got 2 low digits. Even if I maximize these, 3, 4, 5, 6, still not going to get to an 8. So that's a 5. That's an 8. The fact that I have a 6 in here means there are no high digits on this line whatsoever. These are all low digits. That's all 4 low digits done, and all 4 high digits actually. That's 6, 7. Just kind of copying what's here, and that's the 5. That's an 8. That's a 5. That's a 4. That's an 8. Right. Have we got any more? Yes, we do. That's 8, 5, 5, 8, 5, 8. I can color all of these. Sorry, I can fill in all of these. I already colored them. That's 5s. What more do I know? This is 1, 2, or 3. Not sure. Six or 7. This is 1 or 2. That's 3 or 4. That's 3 or 4. 3 or 4 on the line means that this is not 3 or 4, and this is another 1, 2. We actually know this now. Excuse me, I was just essentially working through the Renban line, knowing that they do not repeat. As soon as I ended up with 2, 3, 4s, meant that the other 2 low digits have to be from 1 and 2. This one tells us what it is. 2, 1, 1, 2, 7. Can't be 6 because it's a 2. That's an 8. 6, 7. Already not 2. 3, 4. Do I know anything about these? Doesn't seem like I do. I do know the 6s and 7s down here though, and that's not a 1. There's a 1 in here. There's a 1 in. There's no 1s in there. There's clearly a 1 in here, and it's got to be the lower digit because of that fortress rule. That's not a 1. That's not a 1. 3, 4. No, don't know more about this just yet. Do I know where all the 1s are? Almost. Let me think about actually this for a second. 8, 5. This is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because there's no 9, I needed 5 digits. It will go all the way down to a 4. That's not a 7. That's not 6 or 7. Just Sudoku. That's a 4. Neither of these are 4. That's the 6. That's the 7. That was a helpful diversion. That's not the 4 down here. These are all low, isn't it? I've basically filled in all the rest. That's low. I need another 4th in column 7. They're all from 1, 2, 3. This is 1 or 3. This is also 1 or 3. I've got 2s looking at them. That's the 2. These are not 2s. I need a 2 in here with, I mean, it's 1, 2, 3. With a 2 for sure. That's not the 2 again. That's the 2. This is the 4. I've got a 1, 3 pair looking at it. That's the 4. That's 2. That's a 1, 3 pair. Are they resolved? No. What about in here? Yes, it is. That's a 2. That's a 1, 3 pair in here. That's a 4 now as a result. 3, 2, not 2, another 3, 4 pair. Okay, let's do a bit more pencil marking. So I need a 6 up there. So I essentially have another 1, 3 and another 6. I don't know which is which. And down here I have another 1, 3 and a 4. And again, I don't know which is which. Not helpful. Let me think about 5s. I've done all the 9s. I think I've done all the 8s. So let's just... And have I done all the 6s and 7s? Very nearly. No 6 in here. Still too many places for 6. Okay. 7s. That's actually a 5-7 pair. That's a 7 in one of these. Right, let's just focus on 5s. What does the 5s tell us? So what do we have in here? We've got another 3, 4, a 5. And actually, I'm going to say a 2. Yeah. There is no 2. The 2 takes one of the 5 on the X-wing, which is very helpful because that gives me the 5s, the 7s, the 7s. This is another 3, 4. Just looking in here. That 3 tells us what it is. It's a 4, it's a 3, it's a 4, it's a 3. We need a 4 in this box, and this 4 tells us it's not in this cell. This is a 6. That's a 6 from memory. That's 1 or 3. We've got a 1 down there. That's a 3, 1, 3, 1, 3. 4. Could have done this ages ago. Doesn't matter. Do I know either of these? Yes, I do. 1, 3 because of this 3. 1. I need a 3 in here, which is placed in there. Let me just finish this box quickly. 1, 4. If I've not made any mistakes, that's a 6 for the finish of today's puzzle. It's a lovely puzzle, Demasi. I think, you know, one of the reasons why it's so enjoyable is if you have a think up front around the cages, you can make a tremendous amount of progress in very little amount of time, providing you have that initial think around the fact that these are 6, 7, 9s, 5, 8, 9s, and that the 1, 2, 3, 4s are outside it. And then from there, you've peppered the grid with enough information that you can sort of start to get in the break-in. So, I mean, the 9s, you can get that reasonably quickly. Sorry, the 9s. And then coloring these, it took me a while, I think, to spot the German Whispers line here to figure out which one of these is the 4 or 6. So why did I take so long? I knew that there is a 4 and a 5 in here. Yeah, because there is a 5, that had to be a 6, 7. I don't know why I completely left that on the table for so long. And then that immediately gave us all of the cages, including this one, because we knew that there is a 6, 7, can't be a 4, so that had to be from 5 or 8. So, and then from here on, it was about placing the 6, getting some digits down, and then just using Sudoku to solve the puzzle with the occasional help from the Renban line. So, beautifully constructed puzzle, Demasi, and I really enjoyed it. Hope you guys have enjoyed the puzzle as well and the video. And I'll see you back for the next one. Bye for now. Well, I say bye for now. I actually don't have my buttons ready to actually stop recording. There we go.